So, believe it or not, there was a time where I wasn't really big into the Illuminati stuff. It didn't interest me at all. I would look at all this stuff and go, I'll beat the brakes off of half these people. I'm not worried about Miley Cyrus being in a cult or whatever. I don't know. I just didn't think about it until I worked here at a place called Best Pest Control here in Tampa, and I noticed, I've seen the Shriner stuff in people's houses before, just doing pest control around license plates and all that stuff, and I noticed, like, just peculiar things about my boss's office. Like, he had, like, the Freemason sign. He had, like, merchandise, like a fire hydrant that had the Freemasons. I mean, just crazy shit. And all kinds of plaques. And then he had, like, plaques of, like, the spaceship going up in the air, a picture of the pyramid, and I didn't know what any of it meant. I just said, man, that's kind of a goofy way to decorate an office. So he had a truck in the back of the shop that was like a paddy wagon that was for carnivals for the Shriners and stuff to raise money, because that's their gimmick. How could they be bad? They're raising money to help kids. Yeah, kids that your other Luciferian friends poison. You know what I mean? That's how disgusting these people are. So I worked there for a while, and one time he gave me his email, and it was like Egypt 1980 or something. That's how. I mean, he's a high level, and for a guy that's 80 something years old, he is. That's the thing I say about these Luciferians. They're very bright. You know what I mean? They're very bright. They're illuminated. You know what I mean? I mean, there you go. But they're pretty smart. Like Joe Rogan, the guy from NoFX. Couple other people that I would listen to, I'd go, man, this person's got something different, different than common, different than, a high IQ, and that's what it is. So as we went, I just noticed it was like this evil vibe, just really bad. Like, the grandson had a sticker on his car that said, like, Jesuit high schools. And I just started noticing stuff. Oh, I seen the video of a guy outside. I seen a video of the guy outside asking a Shriner who he believes in, and they said Lucifer. And I probably watched it 13, 14 times. And I was getting more and more nauseous as I started looking into it. I couldn't believe it. Because to me, Satan worshipers always looked like they were in Motley Crue. Not like this. These guys look like a bunch of nerds. And I noticed he was real big on the mask, and it didn't fit his personality, because he was very, not masculine, but he was very much like an old, he wasn't a bad guy. Do you know what I mean? But he just worshiped the devil. I mean, just a small thing. But once I figured out what it was, and I had some other Christian guys that worked there, I said, you know what these people are into? And he said, yeah. And I said, why don't you tell me? He goes, oh, they worship Lucifer. They think Lucifer's God. And I go, and that's okay with you? And I probably was making close to $45,000, $50,000 a year, which is a lot doing pest control, okay? I was getting ready to buy a motorcycle, and I was going to buy the place I lived in. And I just said, yeah, I can't work with these people. I can't sit by and, I won't sit by. I'm sure it's somewhere in the Bible that we shouldn't be doing business with these people, okay? And I would say to the other Christian guys, how long have you known about this? Oh, God, I've known about this for like 3 or 4 years. And I go, and you still work here? They go, where am I going to make this kind of money? You know what I mean? So I just said, I don't care, okay? I don't care about any of that. I had a guy at the prison. I got fired for helping a colored guy that was an inmate, and they wanted me to narc him out on something that was just trivial. And they said, are you telling us the truth? And I said, I'm doing the right thing. And they're taping me on a tape recorder. Do you know what I mean? Are you doing the right? You're doing the right thing. What does that mean? Well, interpret it any way it's open. Whatever your interpretation is, if it helps your cause. And the guy's like, we're trying to determine whether we're going to ask you to resign or fire you or keep you. but you're not really making it easy on us. So he just said, the story that you're sticking with, you're saying that, because this guy was facing life in prison, and he had been in jail for 40 years, and he messed up, and he smoked a cigarette in the bathroom, and that was enough that he could stay in prison now the rest of his life. And I seen him, and another correction officer seen him at the same time, and I wouldn't write it down. I wouldn't put it down on paper that I seen it. And I actually would see the guy at the gym that was the corrections officer, just a fucking nerdy looking dude. Just a bunch of nerds I worked with, you know what I mean? And they said, well, you know, if you're not gonna, you know, cooperate and tell the truth, and I said, you know, then we're gonna ask you to resign, and if you resign, you can always get hired back. And I just said, I quit. I said, I'm not coming back here. This isn't you know, this isn't the job that I thought it would be, and you know, all that shit. You know, because as a kid I wanted to be a police officer, and I think I would have made a pretty good one. You know, I mean, I was the type of corrections officer where I seen people smoking weed in jail, or if I found weed on you when I was shaking you down or checking your locker and stuff, I would give it back to you. I don't care about that stuff, you know what I mean? I was probably one of the nicer people in there, because even though I look like a jerk, I'm really not that big of a jerk, you know what I mean? But no, I just know, man, you do the right thing. I quit a job making that much money. I make about $1,700-$1,800 a month, and I've never been happier. I like getting up in the morning, going to work. I like my boss. You know, I got a great life. My life has never been, people like, you know, like feel sorry for me and stuff, you know what I mean? And this guy almost hit me, he's not paying attention. People like act like my life sucks. It's like, listen, I'm not in some relationship I don't want to be in, you know, and been married for 20 years and hate my life, you know. Is that one of our guys? I don't think so. So anyways, that's it.